Welcome!
Hello. Hello, welcome to
Doctor Who Time and Space.
I'm Decool.
And I am Lewis Moon.
Whew,
Oh,
lots to get to
I'm
today.
quite tired today because we're doing this on a different computer than usual today, aren't we?
We are indeed.
And I had to rush down to press the randomizer.
Yeah.
And Decool does not yet know what's on the randomizer today, but I do.
So it's a surprise for me. So
I'll tell you there's a little bit of a theme to the randomizer recently.
So it's a little bit different than normal where we press it live. So it's going to be live for me when you find out.
And it's live for you.
Yes.
As well. But not the only person who knows so far is me. If you're watching it live, because if you're not watching it live, then everyone who's watched it before you will know about it.
And we might even talk about it because you might be watching it after watching next week's.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Who knows?
What do we have on this week's show, Mr. Moon?
So this week we will have our Judge My Tenure on Russell T Davies.
We'll be having our usual array of news.
We will be talking about Hyde.
We'll be finding out what Lewis Moon has pressed on the randomizer.
And we will have another episode of Quiz or Question.
So plenty to get our teeth into.
Yes.
Should we kick off with the news?
Yes.
Or as I like to call it, the tangent.
It actually says on your tablet, live streaming, Miss Lewis Moon, Doctor Who Time and Space, Russell T Davies, The Saviour of Who, episode 119.
Which is just coincidentally what this episode happens to be called.
Yes.
Wowza.
119 episodes.
Crumbs.
It gets higher every week, unbelievably.
By one, normally.
Yeah.
So what news do we have?
Apart from when it's New Year.
Yes.
Okay, so first up we have Reece Shearsmith cast in Series 9.
Okay.
Actor, comedian and award-winning writer Reece Shearsmith joins Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman as he takes up a guest role in a special episode of Doctor Who, returning to BBC One this September.
Oh, interesting.
What does it mean by special episode?
Oh, can you read that bit?
Yeah, it says, as he takes up a guest role in a special episode of Doctor Who, returning to BBC One this September.
So maybe... Do we know which episode he's in?
9. Mark Gatiss.
So what could be special about it? Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting.
We'll talk to you about that nearer the time. But, of course, it is not November yet
Yes.
when he appears in it.
So some way off yet. But, I mean, obviously the two of them go back a long way because they were both in League of Gentlemen together.
So it's not too surprising that he's in Mark Gatiss's episode.
No. And if it's anything like League of Gentlemen, it would be very strange. But we like it. We like strange.
What's the weirdest Mark Gatiss episode?
Actually, I mean, strangely enough, his episodes haven't been that odd, have they?
No,
when you
they
think
haven't.
of the fact that I don't know if you've ever seen any of League of Gentlemen. Have you ever seen any clips?
I have seen the clip with Papa Lazaro.
Yeah. And it's really strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I just sit on the toilet. There's a block in your toilet.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a very odd program, but very, very funny, mind you.
Yeah.
Really, really good. The sort of thing I laugh at. And I don't laugh at that much.
No.
Apart from when we're talking, obviously,
Yes,
on
apart
here
from
normally.
We're talking on here normally.
Or not normally. Because
Yes.
quite often we don't talk normally at all.
Yeah, we don't know what we're
Not
talking
normally.
about most
No.
of the time.
I just
So-
remember we left that big packet of fruit pastels downstairs, disappointing. I
Oh.
could just do with one of these orange fruit pastels about that. So,
People will be coming in right now
yeah, and eating it all.
and stealing it.
Yeah. So, what's your take on this story?
Well, yeah, so I think this is quite good because he's in episode 9, which is written by Mark Gatiss, directed by Justin, the name that I find hard to pronounce, Molotnikov,
Molotnikov, yeah.
and produced by Nikki Wilson.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do we know anything about this Mark Gatiss episode?
Only
at all?
that he's in it.
Yeah.
I'll read you some more of the cast in a sec.
Okay. Yeah.
And Mark Gatiss is writing it, but that was only a little while ago.
Okay.
I think it's the one that they're filming at the moment.
Excellent.
And then they film the final.
Because when you asked that question just a minute ago, weirdest one that Mark Gatiss has written, I'm trying to think through, and they're not generally that weird, are they? I mean,
No.
if you think the last one he wrote was Robin, Robot of Sherwood. He wrote Cold War.
Yeah,
He wrote
Crimson Horror.
Crimson Horror was a bit odd, I guess.
Yeah, he wrote Night Terrors.
Yes.
He wrote Victory of the Daleks.
Yes, which nobody likes.
No, Idiot's Lantern.
Okay, which also nobody likes.
Unquite Dead.
Okay, Unquite Dead. Have I seen that one?
Yeah, the one with Charles Dickens.
Oh, that's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, we've watched that on here, haven't we?
No.
Have we not watched that for this one?
We've watched the Shakespeare
Oh,
one.
it's the Shakespeare one we wrote. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I always get these two mixed up, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So I am absolutely thrilled to be filming Doctor Who, as Mark Gatiss has written a fantastic role for me in a very scary episode. Thank you.
So now we know it's got the word scary.
It has been so exciting to be part of a very singular episode, which I can say with authority will be unlike any previous episode of Doctor Who. It's a joy to play a part in the show, certainly a badge of honour.
Well, that's interesting itself, isn't it? Something quite unlike anything else we would have seen in Doctor Who.
Yeah. So Mark Gatiss, writer of the episode, added, "I'm delighted to be writing again for Peter and Jenna's brilliant TARDIS team. I'm very excited about this particular story. It's been brewing in the dark recesses of my mind for a while now. I'm also chuffed to bits to finally welcome my old friend Rhys Shearsmith onto the show. He's been badgering me for 10 years. Rhys will be joined by Elaine Tan from EastEnders and Entourage, Neat Mohan from All in Good Time and Desert Dancer, Bethany Black from Cucumber and Banana, and Paul Courtney Hugh, Dalziel and Pascal and Coronation Street. Doctor Who is series 9 is shot in Cardiff at BBC Wales Rothlock Studios and is a BBC Cymru Wales production for BBC One and will return September 19th.
Ooh.
And we've got a video with Rhys Shearsmith, but you can watch that in the show notes.
Brilliant.
He also actually Rhys Shearsmith played Patrick Troughton in Adventure in Space and Time, which was on at the 50th anniversary.
See, the amazing thing about that is that I obviously watched that, and if anyone that hasn't seen it, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I'd recommend to watch it. You can buy it.
Yeah. But it didn't occur to me that that's who was playing Patrick Troughton. Because I'm rubbish at that sort of thing. If somebody's got a hat on, I don't recognise them. Or if they've got a moustache and I don't recognise them as the same person that played somebody without a moustache. And like if Lewis came round one day and he decided to dye his hair black, I probably wouldn't know who. What are you doing? Who are you? What are you doing coming into my house?
Why did I dye my hair black?
I don't know.
Oh, to look like you.
Oh yeah, to look like me.
Yeah, to look like you. Yeah. To look like you, the famous podcaster who's appeared in all 119 Doctor Who.
Wow, that's true.
Even I was away for a few.
That's true.
I was also at Comic Con the other week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, do we have any other news?
Well, I was just going to read some comments, what
Okay.
people thought. So excited. Mark Gatiss' episode this series is my most anticipated. Bethany Black, Doctor Who's first transgender actor. So happy. Halloween special maybe, but only if it's moved to the episode 7 slot of series 9 with my calculations. Because the Zygon one at the moment, the first part is on Halloween.
Right.
And from seeing him play multiple roles on the dark comedy Psychoville, I cannot wait to see what he does in this episode.
So, okay, I'm going to go back to one of the comments that was raised a few moments ago.
Yeah.
Somebody said about it being the Halloween episode.
Yeah.
but saying that it can't at the moment because of the order.
Yeah.
So, do we have a history of episodes' orders being changed after they've been written? Do we know if there's any where they have the order?
We have had episodes which they have they film in the previous production block.
Yes.
Like, for example, they do like the second episode from series 25.
Yeah.
In the series when they're filming series 24.
Yeah.
Which is Sylvester McCoy's worst series and the worst ever series.
It does. I mean, it happens quite often with filming where they'll film everything in a certain location, for instance, rather than going back and forth. But the danger of that is, I wonder if they actually get there and they're editing things down and they sort of go, "Oh no, you'll never believe it. We forgot to film episode 3." I wonder if that ever happens. It probably happens in terms of scenes, surely, where it's like, no, we've got to film the bit where the Doctor walks out to the toilet. That sort of thing could happen. Yeah. Unless they just tick them off as they do them, perhaps.
So, before we move on to the next piece of news, should we have a little roundup on what we know about Series 9 so far?
Why not? Yes.
So, should we start at the first episode? Yeah. And we'll also talk about our most anticipated episode.
Okay.
Because it's 6 weeks to go.
Ooh.
The countdown truly begins because it's only 42 days.
Well, so.
So, we're going to say first episode stars Missy, Unit, Kate Stewart. It may star the Daleks. There have been rumours that the opening story will take a trip to Skaro. There's apparently going to be a big battle. It's written by Steve Moffat and directed by Hetty MacDonald, the director of Blink. And it looks like quite an interesting opening story.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And then that's Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar. 3 and 4 is the story written by Toby Whitehouse. We don't know much about that story.
And neither do they, because they forgot to film episode 3.
And then we've got episode 5, The Girl Who Died, which will star Maisie Williams as an unnamed character. And we've got lots of stars like people. It's written by Stephen Moffat and Jamie Matheson. Then Maisie Williams and Rufus Hound star in The Woman Who Lived, which is episode 6.
Now, see, I didn't realise that Maisie Williams was in 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't.
I read it on IMDb the other day.
And I read it somewhere else. I read that she was in those 2 episodes. It wasn't IMDb.
I thought she was just in Catherine Tregenna's.
Yes, me too.
The Woman Who Lived.
Me too. So yeah, maybe something sneaked out that they had initially kept secret.
Yeah. So she probably is this character from the previous story. And apparently in the 5th one, there's this Stephen Moffat's favourite Clara moment. So, and then episode 7 and 8, which we're really excited about, is the Zygon one on Halloween, written by Peter Harness. Sees the return of both Zygons and Osgood. Kate Stewart returns again in this story.
Fantastic.
And then we have Mark Gatiss' story, which we don't know much about, Reece Shearsmith, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Episode 10 will star Jovian Wade as Rigsy, will be written by a new writer, Sarah Dollard, and we don't know much about that one either. The final, written by Stephen Moffat, is meant to have a massive cliffhanger.
So is the final a one-part or is it
2?
It is 2 parts. Okay.
Now, this week we've had a promo pic as well, which you can see in the show notes.
It's good.
And it's kind of the Doctor and Clara running away from sort of explosions together. And I think most Who fans would have seen it by now. It's been everywhere.
I'm sure they probably have. So what? I mean, you read through that list then, and it made me realise that I'm finding it very difficult to choose which episode I'm looking for the most out of all those.
Yeah, but well, it's 6 weeks. You'll have to decide in those 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe as more synopsises and videos come out,
Yeah.
and we've seen the first episode. What if we think the first episode is rubbish, and they say all of the rest of it is going to be a bit like the first episode?
Yeah, but slightly worse. I don't think it will.
I think it'll be good.
There's some really intriguing ones. Like the ones that jump out to me are, I can't remember the names of it. The girl
who died
and the woman who lived.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those sound interesting, and obviously Macy Williams is in it, so that's one set. The Return of the Zygons.
Yes.
And also whatever the one is that has these weird face.
The Toby Whitehouse one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know much about that one.
No.
Particularly.
But these are the ones that really jump out at me.
The monster, those look like really cool creatures.
And then we've obviously, you can't knock the finale, can you?
No.
But then also the whole idea of possibly Scarrow.
The premiere the premiere looks really cool.
Yeah.
It also sees the return of Missy.
Yeah.
Which I'm quite looking forward to. But the thing is, I think we might have discussed this before. If Missy and Osgood are back, why can't Seb and everyone be back? Because they were hit by the same ray. Even though I don't want another Squee moment.
Oh, he said that. Aside from the Squee moment, he was really good. That
yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was funny.
So it's got the makings, and there's always the opportunity to be disappointed, but it's got the makings of being a fantastic series, isn't it? It sounds, all of them just sound.
I think the worst one will be the one with Regsy in, even though it looks all right. Episode 10.
What do we know about that?
I told you it's got Regsy, written by Sarah Dollard, the new writer.
Yeah. We don't know who the villain is or anything like that, do we? Yeah.
Seen them with a map.
I will go for that one as well, purely because, firstly, it's just before the finale.
Yeah.
And secondly, I'm not necessarily sure Regsy was a great character anyway.
Yeah.
He was
all right.
Yeah, he was just an all right character.
Mark Gatiss was. There were much more better characters to bring back.
Yeah.
But Mark Gatiss's episode, I'm intrigued by, even though I didn't really like Robot Sherwood as much as the others.
Yeah, Robot Sherwood's a bit throwaway. But then again, when I look back on it, there's bits that I sort of think, oh, that was really, really good. So it's probably better than I remember it being.
Hmm. Well, that was a big bit of tangents.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we've been on there for like.
Oh wait, I can tell you.
We've been on there for 20 minutes.
For almost 20 minutes. Yeah. 17.
17 minutes.
So
and we've gone past one item.
Well, we went through that post a bit as well. Yeah. That was really a big. No full series of Doctor Who in 2016? ?
Shock, horror! Oh, panic! Smashes the window, steals all the food.
Only rumours today, with talk of Doctor Who possibly not airing a full series in 2016 due to Moffat's Sherlock commitments. The source is Private Eye, who wrote in their last issue of their magazine, "Not long now till the return of Doctor Who, which arrives back on screens for the 9th series of its latest incarnation on 19th of September. Fans should make as much as they can of this 12-part run, as BBC staff have recently been informed that showrunner Stephen Moffat commitments to his other hit show Sherlock mean there will be no full series of Doctor Who in 2016. There were rumours. There have been some silly rumours recently. Like there was one the other day which made me laugh, which said the Doctor Who cast have been banned from eating biscuits. That was a mirror rumour.
What was that for? Why? Why are they banned from eating
Because Jenna Coleman's got Peter Capaldi addicted on them.
What do you reckon of this then? So there's a couple of things that could happen, isn't there? Mm. Firstly, like you said to me on Wednesday when we first talked about this, not on air, just when we were chatting normally, You said, well, what could happen is they do a half series like they did with Series 7.
Yeah. So I think the possibilities are a half series, a no series, or specials.
See, the other one I was going to come on to is specials. I don't think they would do no series.
No, I don't.
Because I think it's such a
The
big
fans would be.
Yeah.
And also, the other week it was revealed that it was the top-selling program of 2014 and 15.
Yeah, right. So there's so much money in it. I don't think they would be wanting to not have anything.
A BBC spokesperson did tell Den of Geek it's too early to confirm the schedule for future series at this point. We're all excited for the new series that starts on the 19th of September.
Yeah.
We've been on there for 20 minutes, by the way.
Yeah. I believe there will be something.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a few episodes, like Series 7 Part 1.
How would you feel about that if it was just... how would you feel about both of these options then? So if there was just 6 episodes all year, or the alternative being that you had, say, 3 longer specials?
Well,
what would be your preference?
We have had... I would have had the 6 episodes because it would have lasted for longer. But... yeah, it could be either of them.
Yeah.
But there'd be a Christmas special out of those 6, I think.
Yes, true. True, yeah, there will always be a Christmas special, I think.
Yeah, even if even if there's no full series next, even if there's no Doctor Who at all, I think there'll definitely still be a Christmas one.
Okay, I'm going to ask you something else.
Yeah.
So, let's say, and this is just speculation.
Yeah.
There's no fact to it at all. Let's say they didn't have a series.
Yeah.
Then. It's a similar question to what I already asked you, but would you rather have 6 45-minuters or 3 hour-and-a-halfers?
Well, 6 45-minuters because it would last 6 weeks instead of 3 weeks.
See, I think I would rather go for 3 really long ones.
Okay.
Yeah. Perhaps split up over the year, so not in a row.
Yeah.
But maybe sort of,
so you could talk
3 times over the second half of the year.
Yeah, but at least we have a full series this year, so it's no need to worry yet.
Every 2 months for the last few months of the year.
Yeah. So someone says Sherlock has never stopped Doctor Who before, and generally Moffat only writes 1 episode of Sherlock a season. So I'm thinking it isn't true. Time will tell. And that is true. Maybe he meant he'll turn down more than just 1 full season. And someone says Russell T Davies once said the BBC can't lie, so they're either going to have to be creative with their answer like they have above, or give a firm statement soon.
Yes, we shall see. We shall see what happens.
So should we talk a bit of Big Finish?
Yeah, okay.
Go away from the actual Doctor Who series. We've got 2 bits of news about Big Finish this week.
Okay.
First up, Strax joins Jaeger and Lightfoot in Big Finish adventure.
Oh, well,
which does the cover.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which you can see on the show notes. Strax, the Sontaran butler to Victorian investigator Vastra and her wife Jenny, will be swapping the Paternoster gang for a short spell with Jaeger and Lightfoot in a new audio special from Big Finish Productions, Jaeger and Lightfoot and Strax. In this special double disc release, the Sontaran suffers a disorientating attack, mistakes the 2 Victorian investigators for Jenny and Strax, and moves into Lightfoot's home.
I want to hear it already.
Together they are on the trail of a creature that is stealing brains, which may or may not be linked to a haunted house in London. The characters of Jaeger and Lightfoot, played by Christopher Benjamin and Trevor Baxter, were created by Robert Holmes and first appeared opposite Tom Baker's 4th Doctor in Talons of Weng-Chiang in 1977. Let's skip that. Dan Starkey, who first played Strax on TV opposite Matt Smith in A Good Man Goes to War, says, The Talons of Weng-Chiang was one of my favourite Doctor Who stories growing up, like us.
Yeah.
first in its form as a Target novelisation, and then in the prized VHS I got for Christmas 1988. Spool forward nearly 30 years, and I've been lucky enough to encounter Jago and Lightfoot in their audio incarnation already, with my turn as Mr. Tibbs in Series 9. And Jago and Lightfoot and Strax will be released as a 2-disc special in November 2015.
So, sorry, did they say that they've done 9 series of Jago?
Yeah, they have.
Have they really? Crumbs.
They're doing a 10th one, so.
Crumbs. It's amazing, really, how they've managed to make so much out of some supporting cast members.
Yeah.
From one story.
They're quite good in it, but they're quite racist in it.
Yeah, but that was just a bit time, I think, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. Do you fancy listening to those?
Yeah.
That one just sounds great.
I know.
It sounds brilliant.
I don't really fancy the rest of the Jago and Lightfoot. I'd like to listen to a few of them, see what they like.
Yeah.
They were like, and I'd like to start with the Jago and Lightfoot and Strax one.
So I'm gonna throw in one of our slight off tangent.
Okay, I won't read the comments because we'll be behind schedule.
Yeah. Okay, well, and this won't be a long item.
Okay.
But I was wondering if you were going to buy 3 Big Finish productions, but they couldn't be actual Who ones. They had to be Who spin-offs. Which 3 series interest you most?
Oh, so like Who spin-offs, like
audio adventure ones.
Or can they be the new Monsters classic Doctors?
No.
Okay. Can it be the Diary of River Song?
Yes.
Oh no, it can't be Doom Coalition. So yeah, Diary of River Song, Jago and Lightfoot and Strax.
Yeah.
And what other ones have they done?
I was mentioning Unit Files.
I think they do Unit Files.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the Unit
I think
Files.
I've seen that.
Yeah. If not, they should do, and then we'd buy it.
I think they do.
Yeah.
I can't really think. I don't really want to see the Torchwood ones because not really interested in Torchwood.
Yeah. When you're a bit older, maybe we'll sit and watch one and
Yeah.
see what it's like.
We might.
Because I can't really. It's a bit old for you at the moment.
Yeah.
So.
Another bit of Big Finish. Lily Arwell is in the Churchill years. So Big Finish is delighted to announce the return of Holly Earl to the world of Doctor Who in this box set, which will be released in January 2016. Holly first appeared as Lily in the 2011 Doctor Who Christmas special, The Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, where she aided Matt Smith's 11th Doctor in rescuing her brother from a dangerous alien world. Now my immediate thought is she's a bit unnecessary.
I'm just
Do you
trying
get
to
who
think
she
here.
is? Can you remember?
I can't remember.
She looks a bit older now.
I can't think of this. I don't even remember her.
Can you remember Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe?
Yeah, I can remember the mum.
I'll tell you that on the randomizer, one of the Christmas specials came up, not Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, but then I skipped it again because I didn't want to watch the Christmas one.
Yeah.
And the Series 8 one came up, and then I skipped it.
Yeah. Because you can, because you're all powerful.
Yeah.
So
And the Smugglers came up, and that's missing.
Yeah, so we can watch that. So the person that's in this, are they playing the same character that they played? Oh,
So
right, okay.
now working as a nurse for Winston Churchill in his twilight years, Lily will find herself helping to overcome an alien incursion in the Chartwell Metamorphosis, the climactic story in the Doctor Who the Churchill years box set. Lily is one of the many characters from the new series of Doctor Who, which producer David Richardson was keen to use in the first wave of Big Finish's new range.
And see, whilst most of the Big Finish stuff appeals to me, this series doesn't.
No,
It just sounds bobbins to me.
it does.
But that might just be me. It might be great, really.
And at this point, it was teased that another New Who character was coming into it, but that is Strax.
I see. So, do we have any other news?
Yes, we have one more bit of news, which is quite a small bit of news, but Tennant and RTD have been spotted in Cardiff.
Ah.
Now, Doctor Who's former showrunner and the 10th Doctor himself, and have been spotted in Cardiff. Twitter user Trevita Jones managed to get a shot of David Tennant and Russell T Davies last night.
Oh, I can see them. Yeah, there's a picture of them.
The pair are thought to have been in Wales for a few days now. Obviously, with the location being Doctor Who's filming base of operations, fans are speculating on the duo being back to work on the show. One popular scenario is that it ties into Capaldi's previous appearance in Fires of Pompeii with Tennant, which has been teased as being revisited in some form in Series 9.
Yeah, that's true.
In all likelihood, it's wishful thinking, but it's certainly food for thought.
Interesting. Yeah. I actually have one piece of news as well.
Yeah.
I haven't got a swanky tablet to be able to read it off of.
Yeah.
But we discovered earlier on, Netflix lovers,
Oh, yeah.
that people with in America or watching American Netflix can now see Series 8 because it's now available on
Yay!
Netflix.
I'm so
So
excited.
there we are. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to you, does it? Because you've
No,
got
'cause I've
Series
got
8
it.
anyway.
Yeah,
So
but
you
it
watch
makes
whatever you like.
difference to you.
It does indeed.
Hmm.
Yes. So,
Yes.
any more news, or was that all?
No,
for news?
that is all for today.
Well
and
done.
we chatted for a half an hour on that news.
On about 3 items of news. Because we can talk forever, can't we?
I think it was 5 and that poster thing.
Yeah.
But we talk about lots of things.
Which probably brings us on to our next section,
Which is Judge My Tenure.
when we will talk about the tenure of
Russell T Davies, which we were talking about Russell T Davies a second ago about that news article, so it ties in quite well.
It does.
So what do you think of Russell T Davies as Doctor?
Okay.
I mean, what do you think of Russell T Davies' time as a Doctor Who showrunner?
Okay. Well, I think to set the scene,
Yeah.
I guess there's a few key things, isn't there? Firstly, he was responsible for bringing Doctor Who back
Yeah.
after the wilderness years.
Yeah, the Wilderness Year's a terrible time.
Yeah.
But it also had Doctor at Longleat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember those days.
Did you ever go?
Yeah, a couple of times actually. It's my favourite
cool.
bit of Longleat. Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's probably the key thing, isn't it? Really, he brought it back.
Yeah.
He also, in doing so, he changed. I mean, throughout the whole period, really, Doctor Who has been this sort of eccentric sort of character, and whilst he kept that eccentricity, he went for younger, more appealing visually sort of actors rather than the older generation.
Because like John Pertwee and William Hartnell and stuff like that, they weren't really appealing to people.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
but they were.
They were, but they weren't in like a love interest.
They weren't pin-ups, were they?
Mm.
Yeah. So, yes, you had that a little bit more. You had the whole companion thing changed, didn't it? Really?
Yeah, it did.
So rather than it being the Doctor with a screaming woman going around with him, it would be the Doctor
like Victoria and stuff.
It'd be like the Doctor with a very strong-minded female who often had nearly as much character around them as the Doctor himself, and you've never really had that before, had you?
No, you hadn't. The companions were sort of like a more semi-characters in the because sometimes nowadays they're always credited second, but in the old days, in the black and white ones, they were sometimes credited right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Even though they were like main essential parts to it.
Yeah. Other things that he did, he brought back the Daleks.
Yeah, he did. And
well, a Dalek, I guess.
And the Cybermen.
Yeah, to start with, a Dalek and the Cybermen, yeah.
And the Master.
Yeah.
And Davros.
Yeah.
And oh no, and he created some memorable new villains like the Slitheen and stuff, and the
So,
Sontarans he brought back.
what do you make of him? What do you make of this era?
I find that if he didn't come into Doctor Who, then we wouldn't be chatting right now of Doctor Who Time and Space.
Yeah, probably.
So we probably wouldn't be standing here right now and talking about Russell T Davies' heroic time as a showrunner. But I also think that he's not as good as Stephen Moffat. Stephen Moffat created some of the best stories in the Russell T Davies era.
Yeah.
But Russell T Davies did write Midnight, which is quite a good one.
Yeah, some of my
but
favorites.
Stephen Moffat did write most of the best ones in that period, like Empty Child and Blink.
Yeah, certainly the darker edged ones.
Oh, and Russell T Davies also co-wrote Waters of Mars.
Oh, right, okay.
And End of Time.
Which
is quite a good one.
My take on Russell T Davies' period is, great that it brought back Doctor Who. There's times it borders on the cheesy.
Yeah.
There's a certain.
There's like every episode there has to be one cheesy moment at least.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
But I think what you said earlier on is
usually involving Jackie.
Yeah, or Donna.
Or Donna.
So thinking about what you were
Martha.
saying earlier on, I think that's a really valid point, because with you getting into Doctor Who, that probably wouldn't have happened.
No.
Would it?
No. You may be doing this podcast on your own, maybe.
Yeah,
well, no, probably you wouldn't, because I got you back into Doctor Who.
Exactly.
As we chatted about last week, the reason you went off Doctor Who is because you were growing up and Doctor Who was going in the other way.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's going with you.
Yeah,
It's getting darker and darker each series at the moment.
As am I.
With Peter Capaldi guiding you through your footsteps.
So I think you're right there, because you got into Doctor Who through watching Sarah Jane.
Yeah, of course. Which Sarah Jane was... The Sarah Jane Adventures was created by Russell T Davies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Sarah Jane wouldn't have come back without Russell T Davies.
Yeah. So that's how you got into it. Chances are, even if you were watching Sarah Jane, you wouldn't have thought, oh, it's got a reference back to Doctor Who in this. I think I'll dig out some old John Pertwee episodes. Would you? It probably took you to seeing the modern day version to want to explore the older Doctor Who.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have started with the classic period, because I think if you're a Who fan who wasn't a Who fan in the early years, I think they wouldn't think, oh, I'm just about to start with a classic story, because they wouldn't really know about them. I don't think I knew about the classic stories until I'd watched a few of the new Who stories. And was my first classic episode Mask of Mandragora?
Yeah, I think I made you watch it, didn't I?
Yeah. I think you did. And I found it all right, actually.
Yeah.
So I started watching some of the ones which were sort of more famous, like Genesis of the Daleks. And I later on watched Case of Androzani and An Unearthly Child and stuff like that.
And if you think about it, in recent weeks, you've been starting to watch quite a big bunch of William Hartnell ones.
Oh, yeah.
But you wouldn't imagine that. Imagine sort of if you hadn't been for Russell T Davies, you wouldn't have been doing that, because I very much doubt that. How old were you when you first got started getting into Doctor Who?
6 or 7.
You can't imagine a 6-year-old thinking, oh, I really want to watch a grumpy old man in black and white, can you?
No. I would have thought, oh, that's really old-fashioned back then.
Yeah.
But now it still looks a bit old-fashioned, but it's essential to Doctor Who to watch that.
And I think what it is, you get to realise quite how important those early ones were, because it's all part of the same character.
It's like some people count classic Who as a different thing from New Who, but really they're both the same, because New Who wouldn't be there if Classic Who hadn't came.
Yeah. Okay.
And if Classic Who hadn't had a break,
Yeah.
then, as we said last week, where would we be now?
it would be embarrassing probably, wouldn't
Yeah,
it? Because
it would be,
because it was really
be
really
better
downhill.
effects, but still bad
Yeah.
writing.
And that's the other thing, of course, that the rerun, or sorry, not the rerun, the new Who version bought us was good, up to date effects.
Yeah, it did.
Still with a more limited budget than what you'd see with a movie or something.
I know,
but good enough.
You'd expect that
Yeah.
a TV show wouldn't be as good a budget as like a big blockbuster movie.
Yeah, and actually, personally, I prefer that.
Yeah.
I don't really like the big blockbuster budget things because they usually go OTT.
Yeah, usually they spend a bit too much.
Yeah.
It's like when they had they spent too much on Underworld.
Yeah.
So they had to superimpose people.
Did they?
Yeah. In front of sets.
Oh, right. So, anything else to comment on Russell T Davies? Okay, I'll ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Best Russell T Davies episode, or from his tenure?
Well, we're going to go on to that in a minute.
Oh,
we've still got the questions.
Right. Okay.
Should I go on the questions?
Go on to the questions.
So, best year.
Best year. I'm going to choose whatever the year was that Martha's in.
2007.
2007. Yeah.
So you say 2007. I probably agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a toss-up between that and the final one with the specials.
Yeah, that series is quite good.
Yeah.
I think Planet of the Dead is a bit underrated.
Mm-hmm. I've not seen that one.
No, you haven't, but it will pop up on the randomizer one day. And I find that is a very underrated story.
Okay. I think what it is that I liked about certainly Waters of Mars is just the slightly darker edge to David Tennant's Doctor.
I know.
And he wasn't
the
annoying.
arrogance.
Yeah, there was an arrogance in him, and it just made him less annoying than what he could be at times.
His foppishness.
The foppishness was minimal.
Remember that episode which we called Foppish Idol?
Yes.
That's about 110 or something.
Something like that.
So, best writer.
Stephen Moffat.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Best episode. This is a hard one now.
For me, it's not. For me, it's Blink.
Oh, I have to go with my first ever story I watched, Human Nature, Family of Blood.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, Mask of Mandragora is my first classic story.
Yeah.
But Human Nature is my first ever story.
Yeah. And it's a really good one. That'll be up there and thereabouts with mine.
And Blink will be probably second.
Mm-hmm.
Waters of Mars, Midnight, Empty Child, near the top.
Yeah, they probably would be the top 5.
Yeah.
You mean it was 5? I think it was.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, anything else to add to this?
So, best achievement.
Well, I think that's quite an easy one.
Bringing back Doctor Who.
Yeah.
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 You couldn't do anything better than that if you were aiming to do something good for Doctor Who. If it had been off air for 15 years.
Yeah. It's actually, the funny thing about it is you wonder what would have happened if they hadn't brought it back. Because it's now such a big, like you said earlier on, it's so much money.
It's the top selling programme of 2014 and 15.
Yeah. So what would, where would we be without it? What would have filled that void?
And if they get rid of the licence fee one day, we wouldn't have Doctor Who. Maybe. And we wouldn't be able to talk an hour on here.
I actually think now that there would be other ways of doing it. As me and you were talking earlier on, weren't we? And I was saying about, I'm not going to go on this about this too long.
Yeah, because it went on for a long...
It did. It was a long talk. But effectively, the BBC could look at other ways of subscription-based services.
Yeah, on the iPlayer.
Yeah. That was basically it. We just went on for about 25 minutes when we were talking earlier.
We always do tangents.
We do.
Even when we're off podcast.
We do. So, is that section, is that Judge My Tenure complete?
Yes, that is judged by tenure today. And
So actually, we've only got one more judged by tenure left, haven't we?
yeah,
At this particular
next week we
series.
are going to look at the current period of Doctor Who, the Stephen Moffat period, what he's done, what he may have done to Doctor Who to make it better, or maybe to make it worse.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay.
So, what's next?
So Hyde review, and we find out what's actually on the randomizer next week.
So, first of all,
we'll be able to review it next week. I'll just tell you that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So, Hyde is an episode from which series?
It's from series 7.
Okay.
First Clara episode on the randomizer.
Yeah, that's true, it is, isn't it? But not the first one with her in. But
Yeah.
the first one
we're introducing series 8 soon, aren't we?
We will, yeah. So effectively, for those that don't know, the randomizer is a
after
Excel,
series 9. After series
Excel spreadsheet with every episode of Who on it. You press a magic macro button, and it randomly selects an episode for us to watch.
Yeah.
This time it selected Hyde.
Yes.
Am I going to introduce it, or are you going to introduce it?
No, you introduce it because you always do.
Okay. So.
And I'll do the special randomizer moment.
Okay. So to give a little background to the story of Hyde, it's a ghosty one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very creepy.
I mean,
we'll talk about the ending and what we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Next time.
Okay, so the basics of the story is the Doctor and Clara come to, well, initially you think, to come and investigate a ghost that's been sighted at
Caliburn House.
Caliburn House,
yeah.
And I guess the Doctor's always a little bit cynical with ghosts and things, isn't he? But in this instance, they actually are seeing this white figure that seems to sort of reach out. And it is quite creepy.
It is, yeah. When they're showing all of those photos.
Yeah.
And when you can see it in the corners and everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hinted, like, at moments, like the creature at the end. I won't go into that to spoil anything, but we may go onto it in Behind the Sofa in a few weeks' time. But you see the creature in the blackness.
Yeah.
The lights flash and you see it slightly.
Yeah.
Like with
I hadn't noticed that before, actually. Did you? When I watched the Creepstar,
I'd noticed all of those little bits. Not the actual bit with the creature.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh yeah, no, I hadn't noticed that actually.
Yeah.
No.
And I probably don't really want to say too much more about the story because I think
it's kind of like what happens in it at the end. In the second half of it, we don't want to spoil.
No,
it would ruin the story.
Because in many ways, it's like a story of 2 parts, but both parts are quite creepy, I think.
Yeah,
for different reasons.
So let's talk about the ending of the story.
Yep.
What did you think of the ending?
I think it could finish about a minute before it does.
Yeah, because it's sort of like an abrupt ending.
It is a very abrupt ending, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not convinced. The actual proper ending of it, I don't necessarily think was necessary.
No, I don't either. It was quite clever, I suppose, but it wasn't really necessary. As I was telling you, the bit when they were all chatting to each other was a nice ending.
Yeah, the only thing that makes me sort of ponder a little bit that questions that is the point you made earlier on about seeing the monster in the background, because actually that links in with that very final minute, and I liked that bit of it. But
that was quite clever, as I was saying.
But it didn't feel particularly necessary.
It didn't, no.
And I think there's a bit where what's the name of the woman in it? I've forgotten.
Emma Grayling.
Yeah. There's a moment when she sort of talks to the Doctor about the reason that he's came there, and which I thought was really good.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so, yeah, that's a good bit.
Yeah.
And I also like the bit when she's chatting to Clara and she tells her about the Doctor.
Yeah, that's right. Well, what was it she says? I think you can. That's not really a spoiler.
She says there's What was it? There's an icy shiver in his heart.
Yeah, something like that.
You can't trust the Doctor.
Mm.
There's an icy shiver in his heart.
And it just got us thinking a little bit, didn't it? Really?
Yeah. Could it mean the things that happened in Series 8, the Am I a Good Man stuff? Could it mean the stuff on Trenzalore that have happened? Could it mean something that's happening in the future?
Yeah.
That they haven't done yet.
There is that. I think probably it links in with the two things that you said earlier on. I think the whole War Doctor thing is part of it. It's a taint on his otherwise good character. And I think also, when he regenerated, he did really question for the first time.
I know.
About whether he was really the good guy or the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that theme
through
Series 8. Hopefully we'll have a theme like that, but not regurgitating itself in Series 9.
Yeah. I think he's probably... We are going off into a tangent.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Hyde again now, are we? But I think what we've got to look forward for with the next series is perhaps one where his regeneration has come to terms a little bit with his own darker side.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward for Series 9. I think it's going to be a cracker of a series. And it's only 6 weeks to go.
Right.
42 days to go.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So, what are your general views on Hyde?
We'll be talking about The Magician's Apprentice in 7 weeks' time, by the way. But my general thoughts on Hyde, quite a good story.
Yeah.
As I said, it's an abrupt ending. The Doctor and Clara sort of work well together in the story. I think it's one of the 11th Doctor and Clara's best performances together.
Yeah.
Because we usually think they're a bit too... They're not as good as Peter Capaldi and Clara.
Yeah, no.
They never will be.
No.
Together as Peter Capaldi and Clara.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case. I think we were saying earlier on that Jenna Coleman's acting is really good.
But we think she needs to end. Even though we like her so much, we think she needs to come to an end sometime soon.
Yeah, it's just
Series 9.
Nice to get fresh blood in, isn't it?
I don't know who they could have as a companion.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me, apparently. Apparently, I'm going to be the next companion.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought there were rumours you were going to be the next Doctor.
There was, but it didn't happen, did it?
No.
What? Have you got some standard questions you were going to ask on this, or we already?
Okay, we can ask some questions. Favorite monster? Monster out of 10.
Out of 10.
Ratings. Monsters.
Monsters. Yeah. Looks really good. What are we judging here? Because it's an odd one. I'm gonna say because there's various twists and things.
Yeah, there is.
I'm going to go for 7. But there's some things that look great in it.
Character development.
Characters. I think that's quite strong actually. I'm going to go for an 8.
Pace.
Good pace in this one. Really good pace. 9.
Excitement.
And excitement. I'm going to give it a 9 for that as well, actually.
And overall?
Overall, it's a solid 8.
Yeah, 8. I think so.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's a good episode. Good scored episode.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And it's a nice, well-contained episode.
Yeah.
In that you could watch it in isolation and it wouldn't really matter. It's not like you need to have watched loads of others to really understand what's happening.
No, it isn't. It's sort of like a one-off story.
Yeah. What do you think? Because we've watched in a row 2 creepier stories.
I think
this one and then what's
you mean Night
Terrors?
Terrors? Last week. Do you mean which one's better or which one's creepier or?
Yeah, which works better? Do you think?
Hyde. I think it gives a better perception on sort of how a better take on the horror sort of aspect of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I think the main reason is that I think with Night Terrors, there's still a slightly child-focused aim.
Yeah, that's what I think. But this one's more Well, Night Terrace is more family friendly.
Yeah.
But it's still quite creepy.
Yeah, but I think we said last week, or if not, we just talked about it and didn't put it in the show. Night Terrors could have fitted in Sarah Jane and it would work all right.
I think we did
I got
talk about that on the
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week. Do you want to move on?
I think it's time.
Okay, press it. Well, we've already pressed the randomizer.
You pressed the randomizer.
I've pressed the randomizer. So
what came up when you pressed it?
So drum roll, please. That's a really fake drum roll.
It is, yeah. Unfortunately, I think the drum is in the cupboard.
Okay, so this next week on the randomizer, we will be watching Amy's Choice.
Amy's Choice. Oh well, actually, I'm quite looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I look forward to that. Funny enough,
another 11th Doctor one.
Yeah. Why? We saw a bit of that the other day, didn't we, on something? Why did that come up? And I said, "Oh, I'd like to see that again."
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and I can't remember what it is.
Some sort of source we watched it on.
It's quite funny because of the fact that this seems to be happening as a recurring basis, that we mention something one week and then that comes up in the randomizer.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned it. I know I talked about Amy's Choice.
Yeah.
I know I did.
Yeah. Well, there we have it. So,
yep.
So
that's next week. Stay tuned for Amy's Choice.
Amy's Choice. Oh, the randomizer's choice.
Yeah, the randomizer's
choice. That's effectively what it was. So there we go. I look forward to that. So bringing us on to our final piece of the show, which is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was. Which is quite good because we've got about 5 minutes left or so.
Well, yeah, we can have a bit more if it lasts a bit longer. Okay, it's quiz or question. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do,
quiz or question? The only show with a theme tune sung by your host.
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
So, quiz or question?
Right.
You better explain the rules.
Okay, so if we have a quiz, that means it has a right or wrong answer.
If we have a question, it means that it's something we debate about and question ourselves.
Yes. So let's start off straight away. Quiz or question. Let's see our first question. Are there any episodes which you thought I could do much better myself? Quiz or question?
It's a question. There's no right or wrong answer. Undoubtedly. I'm just trying to think of a good example. Night Terrors.
Yeah.
I'll say that one because we watched it last week.
Okay.
And it's fresh in the memory. I would have made that a lot darker.
I would have too.
Mm.
I probably would have had the child in it because I like the idea of the story, but some of the take on it sometimes wasn't too scary.
I didn't
it wasn't like
the doll
as scary as it should be.
Come play with us. So I didn't like that at all.
That is like a Sylvester McCoy thing.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it felt like. I would much rather the voice just sort of said something like, "Come play with us." Wouldn't that be far scarier?
Yeah.
Come play with us.
But then the child aspect is quite creepy.
Yeah.
It's like voiced by like the laughs.
The laughs. I think the laughs are a different thing completely. The laughs are really well.
If it didn't talk, would that be fun? Would that be good?
It didn't need to talk.
It didn't need to talk. No.
Yeah.
So I don't think it needed to have that bit where it said, "Come play with us."
But the other sort of side of it, and I'm getting into ghost stuff here.
Yeah.
Most people's general thoughts on ghosts, if
Yeah.
they're real, is that often the demonic entities will use children's voices.
They do.
But the ghosts aren't necessarily children.
No.
So it could quite easily go, "Come play with us," but then also use childlike laughter.
Yeah, it could.
So there we are. That's my
That could be a take. Also, some of the Sylvester McCoy episodes. Could have done better, much better myself, but it's kind of like at the time.
Yeah. Do you know what I would have done?
What?
Not made them.
Yeah. Well, we weren't doing this podcast all the way back then, were
No.
we? So we didn't know how it felt
Yeah.
not to have a podcast. Or we didn't know what. Imagine us reviewing.
I was thinking as in not making those.
No,
episodes.
I know what you mean.
Oh, right.
But I just went on to a little tangent there. But I mean, I was. Oh, what was I saying? It's annoying doing these live sometimes because you lose what you're saying. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Do you want to move on to the next one, or have you got any other?
Just one final thing. To
Okay.
say on this. The fact that these things could be better was clearly demonstrated to me when we saw the BBC's trailer for The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, which is without doubt one of the worst, not just Doctor Who episodes, but pieces of television. But the trailer was really good.
It was, yeah.
Because
if I hadn't watched it before, I would have wanted to watch it. And then when I watched it, I would have been terribly disappointed. I would have been crying by the end of it.
You would have done. And you'd say, I wasted £15 on this.
Yeah.
So, okay. Do we have any other quizzes or questions?
So, what is the worst... We've only done one.
Well, I know, yeah.
What is the worst directed episode? Quiz or question?
It's a question again. It's a matter of opinion.
Question.
Worst directed episode. Oh, I find that difficult. I'm going to go for whatever. It's going to have to be one of those Sylvester McCoy ones again. It's going to go that one with Ken Dodd in it.
Well, we haven't seen that.
No,
so...
I've seen enough to know that it's bad.
Yeah. But it isn't particularly the worst written episode.
No.
It's the worst directed. What looks the worst?
Well,
I mean, like the effects in it and the filming in it.
I can't see past that episode. It's just that
no.
I don't know.
It does look terrible.
Yeah.
I want to see it to give some criticisms on it.
I don't want to see it. I'm quite happy for you to watch it all the way through and report back how bad it is.
Yes. And then if it's actually good, shockingly good, then I'd recommend it to you.
Well, that's true. I do have sort of cold. Well, else I look forward for pressing the magic randomizer button. I do get the cold shakes of thoughts of some of these old Sylvester.
We wouldn't get Greatest Show in the Galaxy or
Paradise Towers.
Well, we have that on Daily Motion, don't we?
Yeah, I was just
we have that on other sources.
Yeah, I was just thinking that there's some that you've just recently watched, so we'd skip them, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Because
it's all right a few weeks after.
I'm sure how much you love Doctor Who, you'd struggle to sit through Greatest Show in the Galaxy again a couple of weeks later.
Oh, God. I struggled to sit through it the first time.
Yeah, I think I'd actually rather be tortured. I think I'd rather sort of Chinese water torture or something like that.
Yeah.
It would like tickle with feathers for 74 hours.
That'd be alright. Better than watching. Imagine if you were tortured while watching Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
I'd be torture me more. Take my mind off this. Any more?
So name the order of the River Song episode timeline. Quiz or question?
That's gonna be a question, isn't it? It's a quiz, so it's a right or wrong.
Quiz.
The timeline.
Yeah. So what came first and what came last? So we know that last came is the Silence in the Library story, even though it's first episode because she dies in that.
Order, yeah?
But Name of the Doctor isn't necessarily the end.
No.
Because well, no, necessarily the beginning. Because that's sort of her end, kind of. This
is where it gets very confusing, doesn't it? And the whole fact that Time Lords can go back and forth in time, whichever way their timelines are going, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to meet each other in the same order, do they? Because the Doctor may go back in time, River Song may go forward in time, and they both happen to meet up.
Yeah. At a random
at
time.
a random time. Yeah. So, or is that? I don't know. Maybe there's no logic in that. Like, it confuses me, and
It does.
I start getting a
So
headache.
we better move on from
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
just in case we get some headaches, which
Yeah.
we don't want, because if we need to sit through Greatest Show in the Galaxy,
Yeah, that's right.
we get enough headaches.
That discussion we had earlier on around.
Oh no! If you watch the Web Planet, you get a headache.
Would you?
Oh God!
It's a hard work.
Pardon?
Is it hard work?
Not necessarily. It was just the noises in it.
Oh right.
Every second.
You
It was really annoying.
know, we were talking earlier on. We were joking about them accidentally not filming a certain episode.
Yeah.
I think I would have just accidentally not filmed Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Yeah, and Delta and the Badman.
Yeah. Any other quizzes or questions?
So, when would Doctor Who ever be in need of a break? And if that happens, what would Dwartaz do? Quiz or question?
Okay. It's a question. It's out of our opinion. I think. Can I answer in opposite way round?
Yeah.
By Dwartaz, I think we're talking about Doctor Who,
Time and Space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah.
It's our symbol.
I think because of the very fact that we got the randomizer, we would be able to keep it going for quite some time.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we'd be able to keep it going for the length of time that it was off the air for last time.
No. What would you do? How long do you think it would last if it was off the air for a long time?
Enough time for us to do a randomizer for all the episodes.
Yeah, we'd buy or get all of the stories.
Yeah, I think it would last for so however long that is. Probably. How many different stories is there? Roughly
200 odd. 250 odd.
250 odd. How many have we watched in randomizer?
About
29,
28, I think. 28.
Okay, so however many, whatever the difference is between the two, that many weeks.
Yeah.
Although then obviously we'd lose a few because some aren't available.
And we would have more by the time.
Yeah.
Of that, because there will be more Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Series 9 and Series 10.
And maybe we just start getting into the Big Finish audio adventures and talking about some of those or something.
Yeah.
So who knows?
We need to.
Yeah. So
they just last until 2020.
Yeah. So any more quiz or questions?
Yes. Which story has no humanoid creatures?
Story is no humanoid
quiz or
creatures.
question?
It's probably a quiz.
Quiz.
On the basis that the Doctor must be in it.
Yeah, the Doctor's in it.
I don't think there's any. The Doctor's humanoid.
I mean, like humanoid, like monsters, like
right, yeah.
Basically villains and things.
How about that one that you watched the other day?
Yeah.
Edge of Destruction. Does that count?
No.
No.
Because there's no villains at all.
Yeah. So there's no.
No, it's one I watched recently.
Oh,
I'll clue to you that.
Web Planet.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Loads of monsters in that.
But none are humanoid.
Nah. So do you want to move on to that?
Yeah, on to the next one.
On a rainy day, which Doctor Who story would you pick up to lighten your mood? Quiz or question?
Ooh. It's a question. It's a matter of opinion.
Ooh, this is quite a hard one.
Mood. It's very specific about that, isn't it? Lighten your mood. So what?
It is.
A good fun. I think. I mean, it's a long time since I've watched this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to suggest it. 5 Doctors.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's quite long.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember it being good, really good when I was.
It was quite good.
Yeah.
Would it lighten our mood necessarily?
It'd lighten my mood.
Yeah, because it's got all of the Doctors in.
Indeed.
Mm.
What would you go for?
Ooh, I don't know. Probably one of the New Who ones, which sort of is a bit more funny, but not too funny.
Yeah.
Like not a Sylvester McCoy type one, because that would make me depressed.
How about like The Caretaker?
That'd be quite fun.
That sort of one, or The Lodger. Lodger.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, maybe that one.
I've watched The Lodger.
Because that's a really great football bit in it. It's one of the funniest bits ever.
I know.
Excellent.
So, final one.
Yeah.
What would be your dream monster to appear in Doctor Who? Quiz or question?
It's a question because there's no right or wrong answer. So are we thinking here around monsters from anything? Or
We can make up our own monsters.
Make up our own monsters. I would actually like to see, and it sort of links a little bit into. Oh, no, I can't say that answer because it would ruin something. No, okay, I'm going to retake that. I would like to see. Something with zombies in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doctor Who and the zombies.
Okay. Yeah, an apocalyptic story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that. Oh.
Can I change my mind?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you. Just made me think. Something. A Doctor Who in a sort of Mad Max type of like environment. So with lots of people, it's sort of like a post-nuclear war environment where the baddies in it are actually humans, but they're all scavenger humans that are trying to survive.
People who have been humans who have been affected by nuclear waste and everything.
Yeah.
And they've turned into like beasts from that. That'd be quite good.
Yes, exactly.
I'd do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay. That is the end of today's quiz or question and the end of the show, sadly.
So it's been a good show, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We've got through quite a lot really today.
And it's been over an hour and 10 minutes.
Wowza.
It's been as long. It may be it's one of our longest ever episodes.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's as long as our episode which we did about Series 8 coming.
And the amazing thing is I'm starving hungry and we haven't had any dinner yet.
No.
So we better go and cook that. So
Yes.
we better wrap up.
We better wrap up. So next week we have our final Judge My Tenure ever on Stephen Moffat. But then we move on to some really good articles after that.
Yeah, we'll be watching Amy's Choice.
We will be doing some news and views.
We will have a Who to face.
And we will be pressing that magic randomizer button.
Oh, we can't wait until next
I know.
week.
Episode 120 will be
Wowza.
next week. So you can see all 119 episodes right now, if you can. You can see all of the ones that we've done on YouTube. But so enjoy your
few hours.
Yeah. 119 roughly. Enjoy your day, and we will be back this time. Well, about
an hour and 10 minutes ago.
About an hour and 10 minutes ago. This time next week. So, goodbye. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be coming back next week. So watch this space, and bye.